Wait for the signal and I'll meet you after dark. Show me the places where the others gave you scars. Dom Perignon, you brought it. No crowd of friends applauded. Your hometown skeptics called it champagne problems. You had a speech, you're speechless. Love slipped beyond your reaches, and I couldn't give a reason. Champagne problems. The coastal town we wandered around had never seen a love as pure as it, and then it fades into the gray of my day-old tea, 'cause it could never be. 'Cause I don't like a gold rush. I don't like anticipating my face in a red flush.
Welcome, people, thems. So I am back in the recording chair. I had a very nice weekend away, which was pretty awesome for my friend's birthday. We stayed in this like almost like Saltburn mansion. It was so huge, and so many rooms, and like all these games rooms and pool and jacuzzi. Like it was really cool. But it's back to business now, people. We got stuff to do. So basically, I've decided that I've said a long time ago that I wanted to do more Taylor Swift reactions. And you know what the main reason why is, yeah? Well, I've got two reasons actually. One, because I really enjoyed Folklore, like genuinely. There were some really awesome songs on that that just took me away, and I just, considering that like I'd never ever in a million years did I think that I would ever, never mind on camera, would ever sit and say that I was a fan of Taylor Swift, because I was one of them people that was like, no, not for me, no, not for me, not for me, not for me. And then actually taking the time to listen to her, I was like, do you know what? She's a really good storyteller. And whilst her voice might not be a Whitney Houston voice, for what she does and the stories that she's telling, she doesn't necessarily need that voice. And there are different voices for different things. So yeah, I really enjoyed that journey. So that's the first one, because I said I wanted to, and I do. And the second reason is because there seems to be, right, some rivalry between the Beehive and the Swifties, and just in general, actually, not even just between Beyonce fans and Taylor Swift fans, but people in general that are just so quick to be like, no, not for me, no. Now look, if you don't like something, you don't like something, that's absolutely fine, do you know what I mean? Like, but nothing irks me more, yeah, than when someone hasn't listened to something and just gone, no, don't like it. And I'm like, well, how do you know you don't like it if you're not listening to it? Like, I know for a fact, yeah, there were certain songs of Taylor Swift that I'd heard that made me go, oh, no, it's not for me. But I never listened to like a body of her work. And I do understand that, like, if you listen to a couple tracks or whatever and you think, oh, that's not for me, why would you go and listen to a whole hour and a half of someone? I do get that. But a body of work isn't always, a single or a couple of singles or whatever doesn't always reflect a whole body of work. And I think looking at like Beyonce, and particularly Cowboy Carter, like I find it really odd that people can look at that album and not enjoy it. Like I just don't. I don't get it. Like, for someone that likes chords and likes harmonious songs, or like songs with a message that is deep and has got spirituals and gospels and all that kind of stuff, and wrapped up in this, this overarching country bow, like I find it really odd that people won't even give it a chance, and to be like, no, she's not country, and therefore I'm not prepared to listen to it. And it just reminded me that I hadn't gone back to Evermore. I was like, do you know what? I'm gonna do that, because I want to be an example to people that, yeah, do you know what? You can take the time, and you might just surprise yourself, because I promise you, I was going into that first reaction with Taylor Swift to be like, mate, I am not going to enjoy it. I'm not. And I did, and it really surprised myself. So I'm just saying, yeah, like, as much as you might be like really indignant about your thoughts about someone, Like sometimes it's just worthwhile just finding out. Like it's not gonna hurt you. You're not gonna go to prison. Do you know what I mean? Like no one's gonna like ostracize you for daring to like step out. Just it's just good just to try. So anyway, those are the two reasons why I want to kind of get back into it, kind of prove a point. But also because I really did enjoy Folklore. So I have looked at your comments and stuff, and like I know a lot of people had said, just jump straight to eras or the fearless, is it fearless? I think as well. Um, but I think I want to kind of see because Folklore and Evermore are linked, aren't they? So from what I've read, Evermore came out like a few weeks after Folklore, and they are inextricably linked. So it's kind of the sister album of Folklore. And I know there are some songs, I'm not sure which ones they are, so maybe you guys will tell me, that are linked to Evermore as well. And I know, like, I was looking for something like Long Pond Studio Sessions, like for Evermore, but I think she only did that for Folklore. And from what I've read from some of the, I guess, fandom, is that she did that because she was really good for Album of the Year. Whereas I think people are saying that Folklore and Evermore are very similar albums, so she wouldn't have done a Long Pond Studio Sessions for that, which is fine. So I'm probably gonna like look at that on Spotify. I'm a little bit gutted because I think that one of the things that I really that took me about the whole Taylor Swift journey was the fact that I was able to kind of listen to her and to see kind of like, okay, so what is it about this song? Like, where was she coming from? And understanding the stories behind it. Because I think, there's so much misunderstanding that happens when you're a celebrity. And, I think for someone who, I put Taylor Swift in this kind of bubble gummy puppy like category, and I was just like, I don't have any I ain't got no time for that. But actually listening to her and what her process is like, and the people that work with her, and the kind of things that she was talking about and wanting to portray within a song, I was like, I cannot believe that, like, I was so wrong about her, about like her skill, her talents, her abilities. I mean, I think for me, and again, this might be controversial, but like I think for me, I think her biggest quality for me is her ability to tell a story. I would say that outweighs her like vocal for me personally. That's just me. But I know that there are some people that like rate her vocal just as much as her storytelling. So I kind of want to see where else it goes with Evermore and what was the link. Do you know what I mean? And it's a shame because she's not going to be there to explain that to me. So I'm hoping that you guys will help me along the way. That if I'm a bit stuck with what a song means, that you can kind of tell me and stuff and help me with that. And then once I've done Evermore, I'll then see about like what do I want to do. Do I want to go like straight back to the beginning of her career, or do I want, because I don't think, because I think that's the thing. I think Folklore was one that I enjoyed because it felt like mature. It was dealing with mature themes, things that I could relate to, as well. Even though like our paths are completely different. Whereas I don't know whether going all the way back is going to be beneficial to my opinion of what I like and what I don't. So at that point, then I may just move on to like the next album after Evermore. I don't know, but again, you guys will help me with that. So let me start talking, and let's dive straight into this reaction. So, I have indeed got this up. Okay. So you can see that my last song there was Beyonce. Right. So I'm going to listen to the deluxe version of this, which has got 17 songs. It was released in 2021. Now I'm a bit confused because I thought that Folklore was released in 2020 and this was released a few weeks after that. So was Folklore released like right at the end of the year? Or maybe the deluxe version, sorry, was released at a different time, actually. Yeah, maybe that's the case. So I'm going to quick look down here. So we've got 17 tracks. First track being called Willow. I'm trying to see which one is the one that's got the most plays, actually. I think it is Willow. So we're starting off with the banger. Now, am I right in saying that her track number 5 is always like a big deal? So does that mean that this one is a big deal? Tolerate It. Or is it track 7? I'm sure it was track 5. Anyway, so we've got Willow, we've got Champagne Problems, That sounds interesting. Gold Rush, Tis the Damn Season, Tolerate It, Nobody, No Crime, featuring Haim. I love Haim. I think they're so cool. I mean, I couldn't tell you a song of theirs, but whenever I've heard them, that's the Three Sisters, right? I think that's Haim. And then we've got Happiness, Dorothea. Is that a name? Dorothea. I'm sure that's. I just remember that from Friends when they were like trying to guess the name of the grandmother that Monica and Ross lost, and they were doing the game for the apartment and stuff. And Joey went with, he's like, I took a shot. You shooting with Dorothea? Dorothea is correct. Nice shooting. That's all I remember Dorothea from. Coney Island, featuring The National. Never heard of The National. Ivy, Cowboy Like Me, Long Story Short, Marjorie, Closure, Evermore featuring Bon Iver. They were in. They were in Folklore. Right Where You Left Me, and It's Time to Go. So it looks as though that the earlier tracks are probably the most. Willow, Champagne Problems, Gold Rush, Tolerate It, Nobody, No Crime, Right Where You Left Me. Those seem to be the ones that are the most popular, as they've had the most plays. But okay, let's get into this and see what it is saying. You did not see any of that. My bad, guys. You didn't see any of that. So I think what I'll do for the first part, I'll do 3 tracks. I'll do Willow, Champagne Problems, and Gold Rush. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Okay, let's do this.
I'm like the water when your ship rolled in that night. Rough on the surface, but you cut through like a knife. And if it was an open shut case, I never would have known from the look on your face. Lost in your current like a priceless wine. The more that you say, the less I know. Wherever you stray, I follow. I'm begging for you to take my hand, wreck my plans. That's my man. Life was a willow and it bent right to your wind.
I like the beat of this.
Head on the pillow, I could feel you sneaking in. As if you were a mythical thing, like you were a trophy or a champion ring. And there was one prize I'd cheat to win. The more that you say, the less I know. Wherever you stray, I follow. I'm begging for you to take my hand, wreck my plans. That's my man. You know that my train could take you home. Anywhere else is hollow. I'm begging for you to take my hand, wreck my plans. That's my man. Life was a willow and it bent right to your wind. They count me out time and time again. Life was a willow and it bent right to your wind. But I come back stronger than a 90s trend. Wait for the signal and I'll meet you after dark. Show me the places where the others gave you scars. Now this is an open shut case. I guess I should have known from the look on your face. Every bit and switch was a work of art. The more that you say, the less I know. Wherever you stray, I follow. I'm begging for you to take my hand, wreck my plans. That's my man. You know that my train could take you home. Anywhere else is hollow. I'm begging for you to take my hand, wreck my plans. That's my man. The more that you say, the less I know. Wherever you
before you go into the next tune. So, I like that song. Like, I like the tune. Like, it's catchy. Yeah, that's a nice, like, breezy enough melody. Like, um, I wouldn't say it's one that I'm like, oh my, what? Like, I wouldn't say that. But it's definitely got like a cool like beat to it. Like, I like anything that's gonna get my shoulders going. Do you know what I mean? And that chorus, like that's cool. Yeah, that I like that. And I think, again, like I said, probably in my last few reactions before, I think like the vocal wise, there is nothing unpleasant about Taylor Swift's voice. Do you know what I mean? I think. Do you know what I wonder? I wonder whether part of the reason that, like, and I guess, and maybe it's the same for Beyonce as well, because people have told me the same thing. They're just like, oh my gosh, she's so overrated. But like, okay, so for me, my background, yeah, and the kind of music I've grown up with is like R&B, gospel, so riffs and runs and power, like real big, strong vibratos and like, octaves and going up and like big diva voices, right? And and I think when I listen to Beyonce, when someone says to me that she can't sing, I'm like, are you dumb? I don't even argue with people anymore like that, because I'm just like, you are literally dumb, right? But then when I listen to someone like Taylor Swift, I'm like, how can someone say that Beyonce can't sing? And like, in comparison, I don't think vocally Taylor matches up in any capacity. However, like I said before, I don't think every vocal needs a Beyonce or a Celine Dion or a Whitney, or I don't think every vocal needs that. I think sometimes a vocal can just have a very pleasant sounding tone. Do you know what I mean? I think that's where, like, I've still not listened to Taylor Swift live yet anywhere. Oh no, sorry, tell a lie. That's a lie. Actually, no, I have. This Christmas, we were watching like some throwbacks on Top of the Pops or something. Was it Jules Holland? But Taylor Swift was performing on Jules Holland. I can't remember what even song she was doing. But I remember, but this is like when she was a lot younger and stuff, and I was a bit like, I wasn't really feeling that personally. But I don't think that takes anything away from that particular song. So I wanted to kind of give that as an example as to what I mean. Like, the vocal itself, I don't think it's not making me go like, because I'm a vocal man. Do you know what I mean? Like, when I hear something that makes me go wow, like, you'll see it all over my face, and that didn't make me go wow. But I thought it was a pleasant song. Does that make sense? So if I heard it in like a movie, or if I was out anywhere, my shoulders would definitely be going. It would definitely be going, definitely be going. But I wouldn't say it's a voice that makes me go, OMG. Look at her butt. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make me do that. But it is really catchy. Like, I will say that. I think lyrically, I think like she's obviously talking about someone that's come into her life, right? That has made her, because willows are meant to be quite sad, aren't they? Like, the willow tree, it's all limp, and it's like a symbol of sadness. So if someone's come in and like just changed the whole game, do you know what I mean? Like, completely changed the script up. Then I think that's someone who, because what she's saying is basically like you're now my man. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I'm so happy that you've come and you've done that. Let's go back to some of the lyrics. I'm like the water when your ship rolled in that night. I'm like the water when your ship rolled in that night. I mean, even if you take that quite literally, that's like, okay, ma'am. But yeah, rough on the surface, but you cut through like a knife. So actually, not in a physical like love making way, but in a kind of like rough on the surface, but you cut through like a knife. Because obviously, the choppy seas and stuff, particularly if you've been through some stuff, I often say that like it's gonna take like Terminator to get through my defenses, mate. Because boy, like hey, anyway, said about me. If it was an open shut case, I would never, I wouldn't. If it was an open shut case, I never would have known that from that look on your face. So in terms of it being just like, like this is a done deal, and she may not have known that by the look on his face. Lost in your current, like a priceless wine, like, so I'm guessing like a message in a bottle kind of thing. The more that you say, the less that I know. Wherever you stray, I follow. I'm begging for you to take my hand, wreck my plans. That's my man. So like, I wasn't even looking for nothing. Do you know what I mean? I'm at choppy waters. I was not really interested in nobody, but if I'd known it was going to be such a kadunk, like, this is an open and shut case, like, I would have known that really, but when I first saw you, but now I'm just following you wherever you go, wherever you stray, I follow. I'm begging for you to take my hand. You've wrecked my plans. That's my man. So imagine that. Imagine you're not looking for nobody at any point, and you're now at the point where you're like, yo, I'm begging you. I'm begging you to take my hand. Wherever you're going, I'm going. Wherever you're going, I'm going. Life was a willow, and it bent right to your wind. So again, like the bending willow branches and stuff, and how the hawk just hang down there all sad. And now it's blowing, it's bending to your wind. Head on the pillow. I can feel you sneaking in. Like, I guess there's nothing, well, there's nothing worse, but when you're pretty resolved about not wanting something from someone, and where you are in your life and stuff, but you can feel that there's, like, it's happening whether you want it to or not, like, that's amazing. As if you were a mythical thing, like you were a trophy or a champion ring. But there was one prize I'd cheat to win. Okay, with one prize I'd cheat to win. I mean, that's amazing again, isn't it? Like, I mean, like a mythical thing, something I never asked for, and a prize that I would rig the game in order to make sure that I won you. I can't wait to get to the point where there's someone like this I can talk about, because boy, let me write a song, man. Let me write a song. Oh. Anyway, the more that you say, the less I know. Wherever you stray, I follow. I'm begging you to take my hand, wreck my plans. That's my man. You know that my train could take you home. Anywhere else is hollow. I'm begging for you to take my hand, wreck my plans. That's my man. Life was a willow and it bent to your wind. They count me out time and time again. Life was a willow and it bent to your wind, but I come back stronger than a 19th tread. That was the one that made me smile so much, because I was like, that's a bar, but I come back stronger than a 90s trend. And I think that, like, even the count me out time and time again, I don't know if she's talking about like her haters, because the one thing that I will say is that even if someone doesn't, because everyone has to respect your hustle, right? It's like someone could come to my channel and be like, oh, you just does reaction videos, like, oh, whatever. Like, that's your opinion, that's cool, do you know what I mean? Like, and that's why I'm saying that, like, even if, like, I'm making a comparison to who my fave is and what I rate and what I like, that doesn't take away from the fact that, like, Taylor Swift is, it's beyond the force. And I guess the point I was trying to make before, and I guess I must have forgotten it, is that, like, sometimes when something is so popular that and people can kind of feel it's overrated because it's so popular, like, it almost becomes like the cool thing to be like, well, I don't like that, like, I'm not on that commercial mass hype. I'm not a sheep. It's a bit like when people turn around and be like, oh, I don't like Game of Thrones, and it's like, do you think you're cool? Like, do you think you're cool? Is that what it is? Because how can you ever at any point say, yeah, even if you're not into like dragons and chainmail and fur and goblets of wine or whatever, even if that's not your thing, right? If that's not your thing, nobody having watched that show could ever turn around and say that the writing in it, the plot development isn't, apart from the last season, we don't talk about that, isn't incredible. There is not, like, what are you even talking about? But you're cool because you don't like it. Okay. And I kind of feel with Taylor, it's kind of the same thing. Like, it's not cool, is it? Like, oh, it's not cool because now all girls like Taylor Swift. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter about what predominantly her fan base might be. Like, if you can listen to something and go, do you know what? Yeah. And I'm saying that I don't know. I actually don't know what her fan base is. I'm just going by what some of my friends have said. And I just think, like, if I walked out to my friends tomorrow and was just like, and I just whacked onto Taylor Swift in the car, they would literally be like, "Are you okay?" Do you know what I mean? But that's why I'm happy to kind of just, I don't care what you think. Do you know what I mean? I would much prefer to make up my own mind, right, and find out actually, rather than me just buying into this hype of she's not for me and not really listening to her, let me actually listen to her and let me see. Do you know what I mean? And I think actually, like I said, I liked that song. It's not like you know, tearing up the charts for me or anything, but like I liked the song, and I liked the message as well, and particularly that line. So, wait for the signal, and I meet after dark. Show me the places where the others gave you scars. Now this is an open shut case. I guess you should have known from the look in your face. Every bait switch was a work of art. The more that you say, the less I know. Wherever you stray, I follow. Um, Wherever you stray, I'm begging for you to take my hand, wreck my plans. That's my man. And then it's the chorus again all the way through. I'm begging for you to wreck my plans. That's my man. It's work of art. Yeah, okay, yeah. So it's just the same all the way through. So yeah, man. I think as an opening track, it was nice. I can kind of, I guess even from that track, I can kind of feel a little bit of linkage between folklore and this one. Like I can understand this being like a sister already from that first track. Just from kind of like the sound of it, I think. But maybe that become even more apparent the more that we hear. So, okay. So the next one. Champagne Problems. This one I'm interested to hear.
You booked the night train for a reason, so you could sit there in this hurt. Bustling crowds are silent sleepers. You're not sure which is worse. Because I dropped your hand while dancing, left you out there standing, crestfallen on the land in champagne problems. Your mom's ring in your pocket, my picture in your wallet. Your heart was glass, I dropped it. Champagne problems. You told your family for a reason you couldn't keep it in. Your sister splashed out on the bottle. Now no one's celebrating. Dom Perignon, you brought it. No crowd of friends applauded. Your hometown skeptics called it champagne problems. You had a speech, you're speechless. Love slipped beyond your reaches, and I couldn't give a reason. Champagne problems. Midas touch on the Chevy door, November flush and your flannel cure. This dorm was once a madhouse. I made a joke, well it's made for me. How evergreen our group of friends. Don't think we'll say that word again, and soon they'll have the nerve to deck the halls that we once walked through. One for the money, two for the show. I never was ready, so I watch you go. Sometimes you just don't know the answer till someone's on their knees and asks you. She would have made such a lovely bride. What a shame she's fucked in the head, they said, but you'll find the real thing instead. She'll patch up your tapestry that I shred and hold your hand while dancing. Never leave you standing, crestfallen on the landing with champagne problems. Your mom's ring in your pocket, her picture in your wallet, and you won't remember all my champagne problems. You won't remember all my champagne problems.
So that's an interesting one actually, because I think um, again, like in terms of the actual song itself, because all I'm thinking is when it comes to songs that like I really like is songs that I would put on. Like, so if I wasn't doing a reaction or whatever, which ones would be going into my playlist? And I think melody wise and just tune wise, I don't know whether that is one that I'm like, I put into my playlist. But I do think it's one that's interesting, and that comes down again to her storytelling, right? So I'll come to the actual lyrics in a minute, but in terms of the sound, like there were the parts of that where I actually when it first started actually, and I thought, you know what, like I've made a big deal this whole reaction about like what her voice means to me personally, um, and actually. Like I said, man, it is a pleasant tone. Like, I don't think anyone could turn around and say that, like she can't sing, or like that there's an unpleasantness that comes out of her mouth, because that's just not true. And there are some really nice like airy parts that come about in the song as well, particularly this one that I particularly heard, when she's doing like the harmonies and like the break and stuff. I'm like, that's so lofty and it's so nice. So I enjoyed that, like I really did enjoy that. Now as for the song, I don't know whether I'm gonna have to go through the lyrics again in a sec, but the gist that I'm getting is that like she was about to get proposed to by some guy who I thought had an alcoholic problem. Do you know what I mean? I thought he was like an alcoholic, and they called it a champagne problem. She basically said no to him, and that she's wishing him well, hopes he finds someone else who, that he can give the ring, his mum's ring to, and all that kind of stuff, who won't leave him crestfallen. But then right at the end, she says, to my champagne problem. So actually, was she the one who had the alcoholic problem? And actually, she is kind of letting him go so he can find the perfect person for him who isn't her. Or have I got that completely wrong and no one's got an alcoholic? Like, so I don't know. So I'm gonna just read it through again and just see like. But either way, I was very like captivated by what she was talking about. I just don't know if I've got the story right. Um, you booked the night train for a reason, so you could sit there. So you could sit there in this hurt. Bustling crowds or silent sleepers, you're not sure which is worse. Because I dropped your hand while dancing, left you out there standing, crestfallen on the landing, champagne problems. So, um, okay, so at that point, then so I'm guessing this is the point where she's already gone. Nah, dropped your hand. Now you want to go and get the night train and just feel this feeling, like whether it's bustling crowds or silent sleepers. You don't know which one's worse because your head's all over the shop. I'm guessing. Um, your mum's rings in your pocket, my picture's in your wallet. Your heart was glass. I dropped it. Champagne problem. So your heart's broken here. You told your family for a reason. You couldn't keep it in, so you told them that you're gonna propose. Your sister splashed out on the bottle, but now no one's celebrating. Dom Perignon, you brought it. No crowd or friends applauded. Your hometown skeptics called it champagne problem. So I'm guessing this is all about her like saying no to the proposal, and they're all there. The family's there. The big bottle of Dom Perignon. You had your speech, but now you're speechless. Love slipped beyond your reaches, and I couldn't give a reason. This is actually heartbreaking. Your Midas touch on the Chevy door, November flush and your flannel cure. This dorm was once a madhouse. I made a joke, but it's made for me. How evergreen. Our group of friends don't think we'll say that word again, and still I have the nerve to deck the halls that we once walked through. One for the money, two for the show. I never was ready, so I watch you go. Sometimes you just don't know the answer till someone's on their knees and asks you. So I'm guessing she's known him since uni or something. Like your Midas touch on the Chevy door. I don't know what that means. I mean Midas gold touching Chevy. Is that some car reference I don't get? November flush and your flannel cure. So I'm getting like cold in the winter. Your flannel, like warm clothes. I'm guessing. This dorm was once a madhouse. I made a joke, but it's made for me. How evergreen. Our group of friends don't think we'll say that word again, and soon they'll have the nerve to deck the halls that we once walked through. So I'm guessing that she's known him since for a long time, a really long time. One for the money, two for the show. I never was ready, so I watched you go. So she was never going to be ready to get married, and so let him go. And actually, you don't know whether you're going to be ready until someone actually asks you the question. She would have made such a lovely bride. What a shame she's in the head, they said. But you'll find the real. So other people have got their opinions, obviously. It must be horrible, right? You do think, like, if like why would it and I know she's saying that sometimes you don't know until someone asks you, so they get down on their knees and asks you, but I also feel like there must be a part of you that, because obviously where else is it going? Do you know what I mean? It's really easy to say, yeah, I don't know, like I actually didn't know until they asked me, but there must have been part of you that goes, where do you see your life with this person? And it's got to be so much easier just to go with the flow and just continue just to plod along. But obviously, what you're doing there is you're giving this person false hope, because they're now thinking that, like, I'm on the right track with this person. The years are going by, our flannel years, our November flushes. You know, everyone else is thinking that we're going to get married as well. And then it gets to the point of me doing what I think is the right next step for us to do. And you're like, actually, no. And actually, it took for you to ask me. I don't know. I don't think I'll be able to buy that. And yeah, of course, he'll go on and he'll find his right person and stuff. But like you didn't know until I actually asked you the question that you didn't want to marry me. What do you mean? Like what else are we doing here? Like we're doing life together. Like, you know, I'm not looking to like stay in this unmarried, unprotected, ununified bond, like living in one out. Like, I don't know. I don't know if I buy that. I don't know if I buy that, but that's just my opinion. Um, but you'll find the real thing instead. She'll patch up your tapestry that I shred and hold your hand while dancing, never leave you standing, crestfallen on the landing with champagne problems. Your mum's ring in your pocket, a picture, her picture in your wallet, and you won't remember all my champagne problems. You won't remember all my champagne problems. So yeah, I think it's interesting actually, because I went straight into thinking someone's a Phil Mitchell, someone's an alcoholic, but actually that's not the case. Like, someone just broke someone's heart, um, and it's all well and good to kind of say, like, I don't know why I mean, look, at the end of the day, you know it's not right when you know it's not right, and sometimes I guess it does take that pivotal moment where you have to be in or out, absolutely, for you to go, I'm out, you know. And I guess it depends on how, but you know, the length of time to me looks as though that she's known him for a really long time. um so it's like, why did you not say anything beforehand? But anyway, that's one side. The fact that he can, like, um you know, find someone else that can repair his tapestry and stuff. And again, that's all well and good, but you don't know that someone's going to be able to do that, because as much as someone might be willing to do that and want to do that, you don't know if that person is going to be whole enough to let that person do that. You know, and whilst their overall happiness cannot be your sole, like, it's not all on you. Do you know what I mean? You're not accountable for all of their happiness. um Perhaps depending on how long you took to kind of get to the point where you're like, actually, nah, this ain't for me. Maybe that wouldn't have cut so deep. I can just not imagine being with someone for what seems like 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, and me doing what I think is the right thing, and then you turn around and be like, actually, nah. Because you then, like, I don't, like, how would you be able to trust in another person, because you've just pulled the rug from completely out from under my feet. And I get it, like, you're only here one time, you've got to do what's right for you, but surely before the point when someone's going to drop down on one knee, unless they're some kind of like lovesick psychopath, like, they're not gonna, they're not go, like, I would never propose to someone who I thought was going to tell me no, ever. So I can only have thought that because of the signs in which that you're giving me to let me know that we're going on the right track. And if we're not going on the right track, then you got to tell me that. I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, but anyway, let's hope that whoever it was found someone to help him with, you know, the champagne problems that you gave him. Gold Rush.
Gleaming, twinkling eyes, light sinking. Ships on waters, so inviting. I almost jump in. But I don't like a gold rush, gold rush. I don't like anticipating my face in a red flush. I don't like that anyone without a feel your touch. Everybody wants you, everybody wonders what it would be like to love you. Walk past, quick brush. I don't like slow motion, double vision in rose blush. I don't like that falling feels like flying till the bone crush. Everybody wants you, but I don't like a gold rush. What must it be like to grow up that beautiful, with your hair falling into place like dominoes? I see me pattern cross your wooden floors, with my Eagles t-shirt hanging from the door. At dinner parties I call you out on your contrarian shit, and the coastal town we wandered around had never seen a love as pure as it. And then it fades into the gray of my day-old tea, 'cause it could never be. 'Cause I don't like a gold rush, gold rush. I don't like anticipating my face in a red flush. I don't like that anyone without a feel your touch. Everybody wants you, everybody wonders what it would be like to love you. Walk past, quick brush. I don't like slow motion, double vision in rose blush. I don't like the falling feels like flying till the bone crush. Everybody wants you, but I don't like a gold rush. What must it be like to grow up that beautiful, with your hair falling into place like dominoes? My mind turns your life into folklore. I can't dare to dream about you anymore. At dinner parties won't call you out on your contrarian shit. In the coastal town we never found, we'll never see love as pure as it. 'Cause it fades into the gray of my day-old tea. 'Cause it will never be. Gleaming, twinkling, eyes like sinking ships on waters, so inviting. I almost jump in.
I like that. I actually would go as far as to say that I'm not sure whether I preferred that one or the first one, as I think I probably would still pick the first one just in terms of the beat, but I liked I like certain parts of that chorus where you've got those really high notes and the harmony that sits underneath it. And again, sounding quite ethereal sounding as well. Like, I really like that. That combined with the actual lyrical content of the song as well. Yeah, I liked that. So I guess in this one, what she's basically saying is, you look too good. Everybody wants a piece of you, yeah. You know you look good too. And I ain't looking to be one of these chicken head people that's running around being like, oh my god, he's mine. Like, I don't want that. Don't want no piece of that at all. And even then, when I started to feel like maybe like this could be great and maybe we could have something real special, I come back to the point of being like, you know what, actually, yeah, I'm not looking to be one of them people. Like the gold rush, the gleaming, like, because not everything that glitters is gold. Do you know what I mean? And I suppose that's the point in it. Like, I'm not into the whole gold rush and being so fever dreamed. Yeah, like Gimli from Lord of the Rings, being just like, I've got the what is it that they get in there? The gold fever or the treasure fever or something, and it turns them mad. It turns them the sickness. Everybody wants you. I don't like slow motion, double vision in rose blush. I don't like that feeling. I don't like that falling feels like flying till the bone crush. Everybody wants you. Yeah. What must it be like to grow up that beautiful with your hair falling into place like dominoes? Because that's the thing in it. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you're so perfect, yeah, like almost. Then it's like, well, and actually, this could be one or two things, couldn't it? Because it could be the fact that you are someone that potentially is not going to stick around because you've got so many options anyway. Because so many people are after you, and you live such a perfect life, and you're just so beautiful and so perfect in every way, like that. Actually, you're not going to stay, or like it could be maybe an equal measure or more so that like I'm so insecure about my ability to keep someone like you that is more than likely because you're so perfect with your falling hair and everything else that you're not going to stay with me, and I'm just not gonna I'm not even gonna allow myself to fall in love with this idea of being with you because it's only gonna get myself hurt. I'm not falling for this gold rush at all. um I love the fact when she's like, at dinner parties, I'll call you out on your contrarian shit. Because obviously, like, someone that can put. Because that's, in a way, to some degree, you do kind of want that, don't you? Do you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't want to be with someone. Because I can be quite contrary, right? Like, my mom always says, like, you're so contrary. Like, and it's not because, like, I enjoy being problematic, but, like, I like to just look at the other end of the argument, do you know what I mean? And not just be so. Even if it's something that I even believe in, do you know what I mean? Like, if it's something that I completely believe in, when someone is so headstrong on one thing, like it makes me go, but hang on, how do you know? Do you know what I mean? Because it just, I don't think we can afford, particularly in today's world of like misinformation and false news and that kind of stuff. Like you can't ever really just be like, oh, this is this and that is that, unless you were there because you just don't know. So I think having someone call you out on some of those things, if you are being a bit of an ass anyway, like I don't mean like just a genuine way, but if you're being a bit of an ass, then I guess you kind of do want a bit of that. I mean, someone that can kind of put you in your place a little bit and, not just be like, yes, sir. Oh, yeah, no, ma'am. Like nobody wants that really, because that's a bit boring, isn't it? And the coastal time we wandered round had never seen a love as pure as it, and then it fades into the grey of my day old tea, because it could never be, because I don't like a gold rush, gold rush. Yeah, I like that. I like how she put those lyrics together like that. Um, Everybody wonders what it would be like to love you. Walk past, quick brush. I don't like slow motion, double vision in rose blush. I don't like that falling feels like flying to the bone crush. Everybody wants you, but I don't like a gold rush. And I like the fact she also mentioned about folklore in this as well. My mind turns your life into folklore. I don't dare to dream about you anymore. At dinner parties, I won't call you out on your contrarian. At the coastal town we never find, we'll never see a love as pure as it. So I like the links that she's done there because, like, she's gone from being like, how awesome would it be? Like, what must it be? What must it be like to grow up that beautiful with your hair? Da, da, da. I see me padding across your wooden floors with my Eagles t-shirt hanging from the door. At dinner parties, I call you out on your stuff, and then it says, I can't dare to dream about you anymore. At dinner parties, I won't call you out on your contrarian. And the coastal town we never found will never see a love as pure as it, because it fades into the grave my day old tea, because it will never be. So it's not even now that she's even allowing herself. She's like, I did kind of think about it, but now man, I like that song. I like how that song's been put together. I like the sound of it and stuff. And that might be, between that one and the first one, might be my favourite that I've heard so far. So yeah, Gold Rush. I like that. Okay, so definitely, I'd love to know what your opinions are on these songs. The link between this and folklore. Particularly some of the comments I've made about, like, what do you think some of the reasons are that Taylor does get some of the backlash that she gets from so many people, and also why do you think that there is a, like, I want to say a rivalry or something that comes between Swifties and Beehive members? I just don't really get it, because these guys are friends. I mean, I don't know if they're like besties. Like, oh my god, girl, did you see trailers last night? Like, I don't think it's that, but like, they're clearly professional friends, at least. I mean, who support each other, and I just don't get how people that support both of them don't support the others as well. Do you know what I mean? So I'd be interested to find that out, and also very keen to know what my thoughts on each of those songs were in terms of what it means and stuff. Like, does that ring true to what you think, or have I got that completely wrong? Either way, let me know in the comments below, because I'd love to hear from you guys. Yeah, if you did enjoy this, then please do drop me a like and subscribe. That'd be amazing. Thank you so much. And if you do want access to full reactions and stuff, because I do think that I'll be reacting to, or I'll be getting the majority of this onto my Patreon. So if you do want to watch these beforehand, then do head over there. And it's a great way to help support the channel as well. So I would love and appreciate that. Thank you. And it's a great way to connect with me more as well. But yeah, for now, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you on our next. Oh.